Anybody that knows me knows one thing. I tell people all the time, the initiation to the lift is 90% of it. So clear your walkway. Your approach to the bar is like the most important thing. It's the first thing. All right? It's like checking a mate. All right? So, I got to put the weight on the bar, got to put the bar on the floor, got to put 45-pound plates on each side. Now, mind you, you don't have to start with 45s, but I'm doing 45s, and I want to put all these 45s on there. So that'll be 5 45s on each side, right? And my goal is to do a 3 times body weight deadlift, but you start light, you listen to some music that's gonna turn you up, you warm up, all right? If you go heavy first, that's ego lifting. And ego lifting, we're gonna talk about ego lifting later on in the video. So that's one of the most important things to avoid. But most people don't even know the true meaning of ego lifting. So you wanna start light. I start with 135 pounds on the bar and I do 1 rep. Bam. And I stand up for a long time kinda so I can feel my body. See if I'm even see if I feel good enough to hit deadlift for the day, all right? So the next thing is cut your feet in half. Not literally, but with the bar. You stand over the bar, you want the feet to be pretty much mid-foot. You want the bar to be mid-foot. Not too much on the toes. That's gonna put too much strain on the lower back. Not too much on the shins, because that's not, you want your shins to touch, but you want them to touch as you go down. All right. So small jumps in weight, especially as a beginner. Every time I put another 45 plate on there, that's 90 pounds. So instead, you might want to do a 25-pound plate, which will be 50 pounds, of course, each side. But also, you can use these smaller plates. But when you're starting off, your first plate needs to be a taller plate, right? Or you can put these 10-pound plates, depending on how strong you are, 5-pound plates, whatever. So we're gonna talk about equipment: gloves, straps, chalk, belt. I'm not saying don't use them. I'm saying I'm not using them for a reason, all right? If you're a beginner, you probably need all that. You know what I'm saying? Also, this is very important. Approach the bar with power, deep breath, hold, breathe and brace. Hinge the hips, push butt back, all right? Also, remember, this is not a squat from the floor. It's a hinge movement more than a squat from the floor. It's not really a squat from the floor. A lot of people believe that, and they always get it wrong. Also, push through the ground like you're doing a leg press almost. And even people that's more advanced, we forget that too sometimes. Also, open like a book. That's what the hinge is for. So you can hinge at the hip so you can open like a book on the way up. It's a push and a pull, right? It's not just a pull, it's not just a push, right? A lot of people give the squat cue, a lot of people just give the pull cue. It's a combination of both, and as you practice it, you will get better at it. And nobody's going to be perfect. Nobody's form is going to be perfect. And no two people are going to look exactly alike on a deadlift. So you might think somebody's doing it wrong because your favorite lifter looks like this when he deadlifts and your favorite other lifter look like that. If you look at a whole powerlifting crew, they're not going to look the same. Also grips, all right? You got different grips. Double overhand, then you got mixed grip, which one of your hands will be supinated, right? So I do double overhand until I get to like 315. And I do 315 with double overhand, then I start mixing my grip, which you'll supinate one of your hands, not both of them. You'll mess yourself up like that. One of your hands is turned, all right, and one of them ain't. But when you do that, both ways, whether you're doing whatever you're doing, you want long, straight arms. You do not want to bend your arm on the deadlift, right? A lot of people tear their bicep on the deadlift because your bicep is not meant to hold this amount of weight. I don't care who you are. Keep your arms straight. All right, don't bend them as you're coming up. Do not try to curl the weight. Do not try to pull the weight with your arms. All right, and focus is key. Focus is key. So I like to lift with an empty gym. You can lift however you want. I want to get all those plates on the side. I got all of them on one stack. Now I need the other stack. So also you focus, man. Is you against the bar. It's like you on a prom date. The bar is your date, right? And you want to even the bar, right? A lot of people think this is not important, but the heavier you go, the more things that you might think is not important is important. So I use my foot as a width guide, and I do like that. I'm not sumo lifting. People be thinking I'm dancing, whatever. This is sumo right here. I don't really do sumo. I might do it one day, but I do conventional. I'm just evening the bar out, right? I want to even a bar with the lines on the floor. I want to make sure both sides of the bar are, it don't got to be perfect. But you don't want it way off either, because you can grab the bar unbalanced and more the way to be shifted on one side of your body than the other, all right? So squeezing the glutes at the top is very important because you're not going to be able to squeeze them on your way down or when you're at the bottom. And you want to be able to use your glutes. That's the strongest body part on your body, bruh. So you want to use your glutes, right? So every time I put another plate on the bar, that's 90 pounds, right? So now I'm going up to 405 pounds. You might want to do smaller jumps. Also, time in between sets, hydration, very important. Music, focusing, not being chatty patty, not talking too much in the gym. You focus on your lift, it's you in the bar. All right, you're not gonna get stronger at any lift, deadlift, bench press, squat, cardio, whatever, unless you're doing what you need to be doing. And right here, bam, I was showing y'all what it looks like to have straight arms, right? 405, easy rep. So I was going to go straight to 500, but I decided not to because I kind of seen some mistakes that I was making. Hey, we all make mistakes. So I did a little bit at a time. So 455, and this 455 should actually look better than that 405. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to think about what I did wrong and right, whatever. Then I realized the way I grabbed the bar wasn't really the way I usually grab the bar. Usually people would take their sit down time to talk. No, you need to take your sit down time to reflect on what you do right, what you do wrong, what you could have done better. Should you lift heavier? Should you stay at the same weight? Or whatever you should do, all right? So 455 went up pretty easy. And mind you, I'm using no gloves, no straps, no nothing. I recommend you should. But I'm trying to do a 3 times body weight deadlift, which would be about 525. I'm like 175 right now. I'm using that as a wedgie, so I can go ahead and lever that up, take that 25 off, and then put a 45 on. I want to be able to do 3 times body weight with no gloves, no straps, no nothing. I've done it, but I want to be able to do it at any given time. So this 500 pounds on the bar. This is where the ego lifting talk comes in, all right? I've done this weight 1,000,000 times. All right, so I said something. Wait, hold on, wait. If you approach the bar and it didn't feel right, it's okay to bail. It's okay to fail. It's okay to bail. So I didn't feel like it was right to do, so I tried it again. And right here, if it doesn't come off the floor right, leave it there, all right? So I picked it up a little bit. I could have just stood up with it, but then it would have been the ugliest rep in the world. Could have been my last time deadlifting, all right? So be humble. Don't ego lift. If the weight humbles you, I've done this weight 1,000,000 times before. I've done more than this. I have nothing to prove to nobody. So, or to myself, because I already know what I could do. Also, put your weights back. Very important. That's part of the workout. What I'm holding is my gloves, because if I used the equipment, that would have been much easier. But like I said, I'm trying to do. I'm not done yet, though. I was doing my voiceover in the car. I got legs to do. I got squats and other things. I just deadlifted pretty heavy, so I'm not going to do very heavy squats. Grab my bag. So what I mean is this, all right? Equipment. Gloves, straps, chalk, belt especially helps on the deadlift, the squat, and all that. With a belt, I usually can lift like 40 pounds heavier than I could without a belt. This is not excuses. This is not complaining. This is explaining, because I don't have to really even post my fail. All right, I don't have to post my fail, but I do, so I can teach. You know what I'm saying? Each one teach one. Not each one, not everybody. Everybody don't need to be teaching. All right, so I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, that's more advanced technique. You don't need to be doing that as a beginner, all right? And also, as a beginner, you don't need to be lifting heavy anyways. You need to be focusing on form and technique before you start lifting heavy. I should have said that in the beginning of the video, but if you made this far to the end, watch my heavier deadlift videos. And also, don't wait until New Year's. Comment, like, subscribe, share, holler back at your boy. Peace.